Hello viewers, I welcome you all to Technology Learning Space YouTube channel. In this video, you are going to watch how to migrate Exchange Server 2007 to Exchange Server 2010. As we all know, Exchange Server migration is not a simple job. Careful planning is very much required in this kind of job. This video cover planning required for Exchange Server migration and a step-by-step demo on how to execute migration. This demonstration is prepared with a Active Directory, one Exchange Server 2007 with all roles installed in one server running Windows Server 2008, one Windows 8 client PC with MS Outlook 2010 installed. In Exchange Server migration, we can't go for an in-place upgrade for Exchange Server to higher version. In Exchange Server, upgrade involve migration of data and services from old server to new server. So an additional hardware is required for Exchange Server upgrade. Benefits of Exchange Server 2010. In 2016, if I talk about the benefits of Exchange Server 2010, yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. Some of you may be watching this video for a two-step migration to 2016 from 2007. Anyway, let us see some of the improvements. In the latest releases like 2016 or 2013, Microsoft bundled all different roles to one or two roles. But when we take 2007 and 2010, they almost have the same architecture with some improvements. So one of the improvement is database engine. In database engine in Exchange 2010 is 70% more efficient than Exchange Server 2007 in terms of disk read write performance. So this make it possible to deploy much larger databases with much larger mailbox quotas on much larger and less expensive disks. The another big improvement is the move to one high availability option from 4 different high availability. Instead of like active passive clusters in 2010, it has one high availability option called DAG, Database Availability Group. Mailbox server in a DAG hold a replica of database, and a database failover is also possible. An expert or a beginner, careful planning is very much required. During the planning stage of migration, we go through the essential softwares need to be downloaded, and information about existing exchange, and also the prerequisites required for Exchange 2010 like Active Directory requirement. Following are the essential softwares required to be downloaded before you proceed for Exchange Server migration, and collect information. Okay, you need to have a clear idea about the following steps like email routing topology, Outlook client, mail integrated application devices, SSL certificates, like that things, because all these are the direct or indirect parameters which help you to calculate the time required to complete the task. Prerequisites in terms of Active Directory, an Active Directory infrastructure running on Windows Server 2003 or Windows Server 2008 must be in place before an organization can deploy Exchange Server 2010. So let us start the demonstration. In the first step, I'm going to show you how to download essential softwares required in the migration. So here first I'm going to download Exchange Server 2007 SP2. Then I have to download Exchange Server 2010 SP1, which we required for migration. Then you have to download Office filter pack required for Microsoft Exchange 2010. So these are the essential softwares required in this migration. Next is about Active Directory schema version. Active Directory schema version must be greater than Windows 2003 SP1 or higher version. To check your current domain controller functional level, open your Active Directory domain controller. Here, this is my Active Directory domain controller machine installed in Windows Server 2008 R2. Open Active Directory domain and trust, and from there right click and click on raise domain functional level. Here you can see Windows Server 2008 R2 is current domain functional level. Next is how to execute Service Pack 2 update on Exchange Server 2007. To execute the Exchange Server 2007 SP2 update, we have to download Service Pack 2 update setup file that we already downloaded. And here in my case, I'm running already Exchange Server 2003, so there is no scope for an update. But I can show you how to run a Service Pack update on Exchange Server 2007. Before you proceed for Exchange Server Service Pack update, you need to know which version you are running. So for this, open Exchange Management Console. From the help, you can see the version number here. Here the version number is 08.03 and something else. 08 means it is Exchange Server 2007 and 03 means it's a Service Pack 3. If it was 02, it means Service Pack 2, and if it is 01, it means Service Pack 1. If it is 00 means it's the first version of Exchange Server 2007. So this is how you can identify which version which Service Pack you are running. And go to the setup file we downloaded and just double click on it. If you are running a lower version of Service Pack, then you can just update by doing this. As I have the higher version, I am not going to proceed with this. Okay. So once you finish Exchange Server 2007 SP2 update, then you can log into your new hardware which you brought for Exchange Server 2010, and then you can start installation of Exchange 2010 setup. So log into new Exchange server and open Windows PowerShell. And run the following PowerShell commands. The commands you can copy from my blog niasitpro.com. These are some of the features which required for Exchange 2010, and once it's done, it will kick off a restart. Okay, it's restarting and configuring Windows features. Once it finished restart, you just log in again, and this is another command which make the service net TCP port sharing startup type automatic. Run the command from Windows PowerShell. Alright, now close Windows PowerShell and run filter pack you downloaded before. Okay, it's done. So now you can run Exchange 2010 setup. Double click on Exchange 2010 setup. Okay, the setup is going to extract the setup files. Let us create a new folder under C. I'm going to give a name setup it. I think I need to close and open this browse folder. Alright, now okay, so the setup is there. Okay, so this will extract all the setup files to this folder. Okay, the extraction completed. Now navigate to the setup folder and double click on setup.exe. Here I choose install only languages from the DVD. Then click install Exchange. Now you can see Microsoft Exchange Server 2010 setup initializing. Click next. Accept license agreement. And here I'm going to do a typical Exchange Server installation, as this is just for a demonstration purpose. If your CAS role is internet facing, you can give it here. Here my URL is mail.neositpro.com. Click next. Okay, now the setup is checking the readiness of the current machine and the Active Directory organization prerequisite trace, and also all the 3 roles prerequisites also. Okay, now click install. Okay, now you can see the installation is in progress now. It's not quick as you see here. Click finish now. Okay, it's asking for a reboot. I can open Exchange Management Console for the new one we installed. It is initializing. Alright, there is a default Mailbox database mounted with present. The next part of the demo is to test Outlook Web Access from Exchange Server 2010, the newly installed one. Then we will try to log in with the new OWA and then we will move the users from Exchange 2007 to 2010. So let us see the demo now. Now open client access, and here you can see OWA URL. The internal and external URL here is different. This we have to reset to same as we have in Exchange 2010. Now let us try to browse internal URL. Here you can see e10.niasitpro.com. I'm trying to log in with user info now. At present, this user database is in Exchange 2007. So you can see we got OWA login window from Exchange 2010, and when we log in, it go through 2007. So now the things are fine. Now go back to Exchange 2007, and when you check the OWA URL in 2007, you can see both internal and external URLs are same. So you have to keep the same URL in Exchange 2010 also. Now I'm trying to move one of the user to 2010. Right click and new local move. From here I'm choosing the latest mailbox E10. Click next. Click finish. Now info is in new Exchange server 2010. I'm trying to log in back again with the local OWA address. I got the new OWA to 2010. Now you can see here the OWA is again 2010 only. So as the user we moved successfully, it's working fine in 2010. And you can see the when you close and open the Outlook for the same user, you can see it is connected to new server. Okay, so it is connected to your new server. The security alerter here is because we don't have a new certificate for this new 2010 server. That also we have to do. So we have two things to do: reset OWA virtual directories and also SSL certificate. So before this I will move all the users. Okay, all users moved successfully. You can see all resides in the new database E10MB1. Next part of the demo is to set up virtual directory. To set up virtual directory, we have to run some commands in PowerShell. To make it easier, I updated all the PowerShell commands in my blog niasitpro.com. So you can visit there and you can copy paste the PowerShell commands also. And here you edit your domain name. In my case, I'm using mail.niasitpro.com. continue this for all the URLs listed here. You will get all these comments from my blog niasitpro.com. So I completed all the URL. To see the changes, just open Exchange Management Console. Here click server, then client access. Here you can check all the URLs. Now you can see all the internal and external URLs are changed. So this is how you can confirm that whatever you set up through the command prompt you will see here. Once you complete virtual directory setup, you need to update DNS record. So when users query for the OWA URL, it will redirect it to the new server. For example, in my case, mail.niasitpro.com/OWA is currently pointing to Exchange 2007. So when I update the DNS record, then it will point to the new server. So let us see how to do that. Open your Active Directory controller. Go to DNS. Find out mail.niasitpro.com and modify the IP address to new server 1.55. Now we can test it. You see still it is pointing to Exchange 2007. It's supposed to point to 2010. So just flush your DNS. Oh, it's Windows. It's ipconfig. Alright. Now let us see. Alright, now it's pointing to 2010. The certificate will be alright once we install the certificate. Next is how to configure send and receive connectors. Here you are relaying your sent edge device or receive devices here. It may be a iron port or a smart host, something like that. So you need to allow the IP address of edge transport device like iron port or smart host or whatever in your receive and send connectors. Go to hub transport and select send connectors. Here I am using iron port. So when you come to network source servers, you can see it's configured for E7 only, Exchange 2007. Here I am adding the new server and removing the old one. As my all users are moved, I can do this. Next, go to hub transport and configure receive connectors. Specify if it is a local device or something, you can specify your address here. If it is a smart host or something, you can just allow the port which required for it's 25 or 2525, something like that. Next, we need to configure SSL certificate. Configuring an SSL certificate is, we can say it's a three-step process, because first you have to create a certificate request. It's a CSR. Then you need to upload the certificate request to the certificate authority. It depends upon you. It may be a GoDaddy or DigiCert or something like that. Here I am demonstrating with the local Microsoft Windows certificate services. Then once you have upload the certificate request, you can download your certificate, and then you can install this certificate to your new server. So let us see how to do that. Click server configuration. Right click and request for a new exchange certificate. Give any friendly name. Next, select proper names you required. So I set up mail.nias IT Pro as my common name, because that is the OWA URL name here. Fill up the organization and location details. Browse a location to save the certificate request. Done. Now here I am using Windows certificate services. For you it may be a GoDaddy or DigiCert or something like that. So you have the steps are same. Here I am using this one, so I just log in here, request a certificate. Open the certificate request file which you saved. Copy complete and paste it here. Save your certificates. Like the same, you can download once you submit the certificate request. You can download your certificates from GoDaddy or DigiCert, whichever the certificate authority you are using. Open MMC and click add or remove snap-in. Here you can add certificate. The step we are going to do here is importing this certificate to the proper folders. Import. Browse the downloaded certificate. So it's complete. I'm also just inserting the root certificate which I downloaded. Depending upon the certificate authority provider, you will get proper guidance from the authority provider on how to do these steps. Anyway, the steps are common. So here you are completing the certificate signing request, and next is to assign the services. So click Internet Information Services and SMTP. Yes to all. Finish. So now the SSL certificate configuration is complete. Next is we will check. Browse mail.niasitpro.com now. You can see there is no certificate warning, and when you go to view certificate, you can see the certificate is okay. We will test the same in Outlook also. Close and open the Outlook. Let us see if the warning is still there or not. Okay, it's connected and there is no warning. So this means the SSL certificate configuration is done perfectly. For a secure connectivity of Outlook remote users, you can configure Outlook Anywhere now. From the client access, right click on the server and enable Outlook Anywhere. Enter external hostname. Here it is mail.niasitpro.com, and choose your authentication method also. Alright, so it's done. Configuring a client access server, RPC client access server, can help users to contact client access server for mailbox access instead of mailbox server through a common name. So here I am showing how to set up the RPC client access server. So for this, the command is set mailbox database and mention your mailbox identity, RPC client access server, then the common path, the common name which you need. Okay, it's done. And you can see it's showing e10_mb1 RPC client access server name mail.niasitpro.com. So now when you go to the client machine's Outlook, account settings, see it's connected to mail.niasitpro.com. If you didn't create a RPC client server access with a common name, here you will find e10.niasitpro.com. It means the host name. So that's the difference, and the advantage is that if you have multiple client access server, this can access, it will be like a high availability, like it can access this servers through a common name. Next is to configure Outlook address book. After that we finished, and we will move our old we will remove our old server. Create a new offline address book. Can remove old also. Point the new server. Okay, it's done. Now we are going to remove our old Exchange server. Click on install. Click all the roles. It's not recommended immediately to uninstall your old Exchange server. You can shut down your Exchange server for some days, and if you feel comfortable, everything is fine, then you can remove it. For a demo purpose, I'm showing it now. Thanks for watching this video. For more videos and tutorials, visit niasitpro.com. Subscribe this channel. There are other migration videos also in the same channel you can watch and enjoy. And if you have any queries, please write to nias@niasitpro.com. Thank you once again.